All right. I think it's been about a month since my last video, so I'll give a little update. My last video, I talked about. I finally found out I needed surgery for my pec tear. I had surgery last week, and well, I had surgery, but I didn't have surgery, and I'll explain here in a second. Um, but it's been about a week. I don't need to be in a sling or anything because in reality, that didn't actually do anything. So it turns out uh, when I went under the knife, they found my shoulder. I actually had a infection. All those little pockets of like fluid or whatever that they saw in the MRI. It turned out to be an infection instead of just like blood or fluid or whatnot. So for anybody out there, if uh, you're kind of the same as me, if you have an MRI for like a torn pec and they end up seeing some kind of like pockets of fluid or something, um, consider or talk to the doctor maybe about getting tested to see if you have an infection. That way you don't have to go uh, under the knife, the surgery and the drugs and the anesthesia and all that, and turns out they don't do nothing because it's safer not to. So a little bit sore. Um, I guess whenever he finally kind of cut and got his way down to wherever that pocket of a couple of pockets of fluid, or it just ended up all being pus. I didn't see pictures or anything. He never showed me, but took the doc's word for it, and he sure he knows what he's doing. Wanted to play it safe, so even though I was laid out on the surgery table and they're gonna cut into me and kind of fix everything, um, he decided against it, and yeah, good on him for that. Even though I had to go through the whole shebang again, which is pain. I don't like anesthesia. I ended up getting sick and kind of dry heaving a little bit um, when I came out of the anesthesia or comatose or whatever. Like when I came to, I was kind of sick, and they put a little patch behind my ear and gave me a shot of something that is supposed to make you not nauseous, but generally I don't like anesthesia. It's like being hungover without all the fun, drinking. So, uh, but they put me on uh, some antibiotics. I guess they took a culture of the pus of the infection or whatever, and turns out I had a couple, like two different strands of bacteria. So taking some antibiotics to get rid of that for a couple of weeks. Um, and I think I have a trip to Europe coming up in September. So hopefully, shortly after I get back in September, they'll give me a blood test to make sure all the infections kind of worked out, and then have the surgery again, and hopefully this time we'll actually fix it. Um, One of the interesting things that the doctor said, so I was like, how do you just, it's kind of a closed system, your body. Like, how do you just like, get an infection? And potentially, not that I'm going to say anything about the other doctor or the first surgery, but potentially I could have gotten the bacteria or the infection at that time and have actually had a shoulder infection almost this whole time, like the whole year, um, which would explain a few things. Under my deltoid, I would have like pain, and I was just like, did they actually do anything under my deltoid? It turns out like that's where one of the pockets of fluid was, um, and also the infection uh, could have been the cause of one of the three little sutures or things they drilled or tied to my bone. Um, like that could have been one of the reasons why it fell. So uh, yeah, just quick update. Um, pretty generally painless, although I'm pretty sore. They gave me oxycodone. Only took it for a couple of days. Took muscle relax. I don't remember the name of it, but I think I took it for 3 or 4 days, and after that, this feels like a pretty good bruise. Um, so yeah, so there it is. Um, right at 5 minutes, so pretty good. I'll try to make more videos. I've just been a little bit preoccupied with the shoulder, and then the last week I've basically been on drugs, and not really feeling it. So try to get back into it, and because at a minimum I want to go the whole year. Make hit my goal for videos, and then we'll just kind of see. So if I continue it or not. Might rebrand, might uh, change some things around. Still haven't gotten to where I want to do videos in front of my computer, just because so self-conscious about people around, which is why I'm a car, why I'm in the truck right now. So, all right, that's it. If you have any questions, like if you've had a pec tear or anything like that, or others like injuries, be kind of curious to hear your thoughts. So, leave them below if you have anything, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, bye bye.